flow naturally. Trump laughed out loud. Perfect. The more spontaneous, the better. You'll see how a real president conducts business. After hanging up, Trump told his aides, "I'm going to humiliate this African kid on world television. It'll be a lesson in real leadership." In Ouagadougou, Ibrahim called an urgent meeting with Dr. Alphonse Ouedraogo. "Doctor, Trump has just given us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He completely underestimates our preparation." "What kind of preparation, President?" Dr. Ouedraogo asked, puzzled. "We've been investigating connections between the Trump organization and corrupt African regimes for 3 years. We've never used any information, but Trump has just forced us to," Ibrahim said with a cold smile. "If he wants a no-holds-barred debate, we'll give him just that." The stage was set for a confrontation neither of them could have fully anticipated. In the days that followed, Ibrahim Traore immersed himself in preparations that would make history. In a secure room in the presidential palace, his intelligence team presented a devastating dossier on the Trump organization's covert operations in Africa. "President," said Major Umaru Sawadogo, "we have documents proving that the Trump organization laundered money for African dictators between 2018 and 2022, totaling $340 million in suspicious transactions." Ibrahim studied the evidence meticulously, and the connections to illegal mining? "Confirmed, sir. Trump companies mined diamonds and coltan illegally in Congo, Chad, and Mali, paying bribes to corrupt officials and financing militias," the major replied. Dr. Ouedraogo brought out even more sensitive documents. "President, we have learned that Trump personally approved an operation in 2021 to destabilize the Malian government in order to benefit from his company's mining concessions." "How many deaths did this operation cause?" Ibrahim asked, his voice thick with controlled indignation. "An estimated 2,300 civilians have died in conflicts financed by the Trump organization," Dr. Ouedraogo replied grimly. Ibrahim took a deep breath. "And we have irrefutable proof. Audio recordings, bank transfers, emails, documents signed by Trump himself, all verified by 3 independent intelligence agencies," Major Sawadogo confirmed. Meanwhile, in Washington, Trump was preparing in a completely different way. "This is going to be a piece of cake," he told his aides. "Young African versus experienced American president. Please, I'll show him how real business works." His aide tried to warn him. "Mr. President, Ibrahim Traore has a reputation for being very prepared. He's the president of a country that no one can find on a map." Trump laughed. "How prepared can he be?" If Trump had known what Ibrahim had discovered about his covert operations in Africa, he never would have made that call. The evening of May 25, 2025, arrived with unprecedented global anticipation. CNN had organized the debate, which would be broadcast simultaneously to 89 countries. Anderson Cooper would moderate, ensuring that it would be a fair contest. In the Atlanta studios, Trump adjusted his signature red tie, exuding confidence. Across the world, Ibrahim sat serenely in his presidential office, secret documents neatly arranged in a folder at his side. "Good evening, world," Anderson Cooper began. "Tonight we have a historic debate between President Donald Trump and President Ibrahim Traore on global leadership and African development." The screen split to show Trump in CNN's plush studio and Ibrahim in a simple but elegant presidential setting. "President Trump," Anderson began, "you called this debate. What is your vision for African development?" Trump leaned forward aggressively. "Anderson, Africa needs to understand that real development comes from partnership with countries that know how to do business. America has built the world's greatest economy. Africans should learn from us." "President Traore," Anderson continued, "your response?" Ibrahim smiled politely. "President Trump, I agree that Africa needs to learn from international experiences, including learning what not to do when it comes to ethical business. Trump laughed dismissively. Ibrahim, you're young. You don't understand how the real world works. Business is about winning. Interesting perspective, Ibrahim replied calmly. Especially coming from someone who considers winning to include illegal operations in Africa. Trump stopped laughing abruptly. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the Trump Organization and its activities in Africa that you clearly thought would remain secret, Ibrahim said, touching the folder next to him. Anderson Cooper noticed the change in mood instantly. President Traore, do you have specific allegations? I have specific evidence, Ibrahim corrected, opening the folder. Mr. Trump, would you like to explain the 2021 African Diamond operation? Trump's face visibly paled when Ibrahim mentioned African Diamond. It was the code name for a top-secret operation that he thought no one outside his inner circle knew about. I don't know what you're talking about, Trump stammered, losing his character